Stars of tomorrow. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting its final golden hues over the crumbling skyline, the air buzzed with a mix of desperation and determination at the Confederation Space Center. The last of Earth's natural resources were dwindling, the atmosphere choked with pollutants that whispered of humanity's neglect. Amidst this chaos, a beacon of hope was preparing to pierce the heavens. Their spacecraft, the Celestial Ark, stood ready, a technological marvel that combined the pinnacle of human innovation and survival instinct. Captain Elena Mirov reviewed the final mission logs, her silver hair reflecting the dim light of her console. Her eyes, sharp and clear, betrayed no fear, only resolve. Beside her, Dr. Liam Sung meticulously checked the life support systems, ensuring that the synthetic biospheres were primed for the long journey ahead. His hands, though steady, were hurried, driven by the urgency of their escape and the importance of their quest for a new home. Commander Jack Rourke inspected the armaments and security protocols. His muscular frame moved with precision, a silent testament to years of military discipline and readiness for whatever unknowns lay in the cold dark beyond. Engineer Tasha Yar buzzed around the engine room, her overalls smeared with grease as she made final adjustments to the hyperdrive, her laughter echoing off the metal walls, a sound of youthful optimism in the shadow of apocalypse. In the quiet of the ship's observation deck, Dr. Henrik Voss observed the crew, making mental notes on their psychological states. His green eyes, intense and thoughtful, missed nothing, a frown here, a nervous tick there. Lastly, pilot Maya Torres performed her pre-flight checks in the cockpit, her fingers flying over the controls with practiced ease, her dark hair pulled back tightly as if to streamline her thoughts as well. Together, they represented Earth's final chance, a carefully chosen ensemble of brilliance and bravery, tasked with the monumental duty of planting the seeds of human life afresh on a distant world. As the engines ignited, sending tremors through the hull, the weight of their mission settled in their hearts, fueled by the collective hope of billions they left behind. They were not just astronauts. They were the carriers of the future, the heralds of a new dawn across the galaxy. The episode of the tampered navigation codes sent an icy shiver through the crew, and suddenly, the cramped corridors of the spacecraft felt even more constricting. Captain Elena Mirov convened an emergency meeting, her face a mask of calm determination despite the turmoil brewing under the surface. Each crew member's face reflected the gravity of the situation, from Dr. Sung's furrowed brow to Engineer Yar's puzzled frown. Trust is the foundation we've built upon, Elena's voice echoed slightly in the metal chamber, and it's crucial we restore it quickly. As the spacecraft continued its relentless push through space, the nebula's aftermath still lingered like a haunting melody. The crew needed to recalibrate their route, a task that fell heavily on Maya's shoulders. Her hands danced over the controls with precision, yet her eyes kept darting to Commander Rourke, whose presence loomed behind her like a silent sentinel. His usual brusque manner was now tempered by an unspoken acknowledgement of the need for unity, though his gaze remained piercing and unwavering. Dr. Voss's behavior became increasingly odd, his periods of isolation longer. Occasionally, Tasha caught him in the communication bay at odd hours, his conversations ending abruptly whenever someone neared. Her curiosity piqued, Tasha shared her observations with Dr. Sung, who had also noticed a shift in the psychologist's demeanor. Together, They pondered the ethical implications of confronting him directly, weighing the potential disruption against the urgent need for transparency. Beneath the surface of their professional interactions, personal bonds were tested. Tasha's latest proposal to integrate an experimental algorithm into the ship's life support systems had sparked another heated debate. This time, it was Dr. Sung who opposed her. His argument that they should not gamble with systems so integral to their survival carried a weight that left Tasha momentarily speechless. In a rare moment of vulnerability, she confided in Maya, admitting, "Maybe I am pushing too hard," her voice a blend of defiance and doubt. As the ship sailed further into the uncharted, the mystery of the saboteur loomed ever larger. Captain Mirov reviewed security footage, her eyes scanning for any anomaly, any clue that might reveal the betrayer. Each member of the crew felt the weight of suspicion, their interactions tinged with a cautiousness that bordered on paranoia. In one tense moment, Dr. Voss unexpectedly joined Elena in her review, offering his assistance. "Perhaps I could offer a psychological profile," he suggested, his tone neutral, but his intense green eyes searching. Elena considered this, aware that refusing his help could sow further distrust, yet uneasy about his sudden eagerness to collaborate. The stakes were monumental, not just for their mission, but for the very future of humanity. Each decision, each action was laden with the potential for irreversible consequences, and as they hurtled through the cosmos, the unknowns of their destination mirrored the growing uncertainty among them. The question of who they could trust, both within and beyond their spacecraft, remained as vast and as enigmatic as the star-studded blackness enveloping them. In the black void speckled with distant stars, the spacecraft trembled violently, alarms blaring inside the cramped cockpit as it was pelted relentlessly by meteor shards. Captain Elena Mirov gripped the command console, her piercing blue eyes scanning the flashing warnings. The ship, their lifeline in the infinite abyss of space, was taking critical damage. Beside her, pilot Maya Torres worked feverishly, her hands flying over the controls in an attempt to maneuver them out of the asteroid belt's deadly path. Her long, dark hair was plastered to her forehead with sweat, a testament to the intensity of their predicament. Engineer Tasha Yar darted through the narrow corridors towards the life support systems, her overalls smeared more than usual with grease, and her curls bouncing wildly with each stride. The life support indicators flickered ominously, signaling the failing oxygen levels. She dove into the tangle of wires and metal, tools in hand, desperately trying to coax the damaged systems back to life. Every second without full functionality edged them closer to suffocation in the cold vacuum outside. Amidst the chaos, mistrust seeded by stress and fear blossomed into open hostility. Commander Jack Rourke confronted Dr. Henrik Voss in the main habitation module, his face hardened, the muscles in his jaw working angrily. "This is on you, Voss. Your experiments, you're poking around in our heads. What have you done?" he accused, voice raised over the din of emergency alerts. The crew had gathered, forming a tense semicircle around the two men. Dr. Voss, calm yet distinctly pale under the scrutiny, held up his hands in a gesture of peace. "Jack, you misunderstand," Dr. Voss tried to explain, his voice steady despite the accusatory stares. "My research, yes, it's secretive, but only to ensure unbiased results. I've been studying our responses to stress, trying to enhance our cohesion, not undermine it. There's no malice in my work. The intensity in his green eyes spoke of a fervent, albeit misplaced, dedication to his psychological theories. As the confrontation reached its crescendo, Captain Mirov stepped forward. "Enough," she commanded, her authority slicing through the turmoil. "Our survival depends on unity, not division." "Tasha, report," she called out, redirecting the crew's focus to their immediate dangers. From the intercom, Tasha's voice emerged, strained but hopeful. "Life support is partially back online, but I need more time." The meteor damage was extensive. With a collective, though reluctant, nod, the crew dispersed to their emergency stations, their survival instincts overtaking the seeds of mutiny. Dr. Voss's revelations, though unsettling, receded into the background as they all turned their energies towards salvaging their mission, humanity's last hope. The spacecraft steadied gradually, limping away from the asteroid belt, each member of the crew silently acknowledging the fragile thread upon which their lives and their trust in each other hung. Captain Elena Mirov oversaw the emergency repairs, her eyes never leaving the crew who worked tirelessly by her side. The recent chaos caused by the unidentified saboteur had left everyone on edge, yet under Elena's steady command, they rallied, their movements precise as they replaced damaged circuits and rerouted power. Her leadership, once questioned silently by some, now stood as the unbreakable pillar that kept them all focused on survival and the mission's success. Dr. Henrik Voss, in the quieter corners of the spacecraft, conducted one-on-one sessions with the crew, his methods having gained newfound respect. He listened more than he spoke, providing the crew the space to voice their anxieties and suspicions about the sabotage. This approach fostered a healing dialogue that eased tensions and fortified group cohesion. As they shared their fears and hopes, it wasn't just the spacecraft that was being repaired, but also the trust among them. Engineer Tasha Yar, her overalls more smeared than usual, emerged from beneath a console with a triumphant look. She had just installed a critical update to her navigational algorithms, designed to enhance the ship's ability to withstand and maneuver through the cosmic anomalies that still lay in their path. Her inventive tech solutions, once a source of mild amusement amongst the crew, were now their lifeline, ensuring their journey could continue safely. Pilot Maya Torres took the helm as they neared the final leg of their journey to the new planet. Her hands flew over the controls with a confidence born of many years in simulators and real-time flights, her every maneuver calculated to use Tasha's updates to their best effect. The crew watched in silent admiration as Maya skillfully dodged a sudden meteor shower, her actions seamless, almost balletic, demonstrating not just her own capabilities, but the strength of Tasha's technological enhancements. With each passing day, as the blue-green hue of their new home loomed larger and clearer, the weight of their past conflicts felt lighter. They had faced betrayal, environmental disasters, and the darkness of space. Yet as they prepared for descent, it was not just a planet that awaited them, but the promise of a fresh start, not just as crew members, but as pioneers of a new world. As the spacecraft's landing gear made contact with the alien soil, a hush of anticipation swept through the cabin. Captain Elena Mirov was the first to disembark, her boots imprinting the virgin ground of their new home. Behind her, the rest of the crew followed, each member pausing to take in the surreal moment. The landscape stretched vast and untouched before them, tinged with the hues of an unfamiliar dawn. With practiced efficiency, they set to work. Engineer Tasha Yar coordinated the deployment of the habitation modules, her designs unfolding seamlessly into a compact, sturdy base of operations. Dr. Liam Sung, with a small team, began collecting samples of the planet's flora, their excitement palpable as they cataloged each new discovery, essential for their long-term survival and the ecological integration plans. Commander Jack Rourke surveyed the perimeter, setting up security protocols alongside pilot Maya Torres, who skillfully maneuvered drones to map their immediate area. Dr. Henrik Voss, meanwhile, monitored the crew's psychological adjustments, his observations crucial to maintaining morale in this nascent colony. As the sun set on their first day, casting long shadows over the land, the crew gathered to watch the stars appear in an unfamiliar sky. They stood together, a circle of pioneers bound by a shared vision and the collective memory of Earth. The challenges they had faced, the losses and triumphs, had forged them not just into teammates, but a family. Captain Marov's voice broke the reflective silence, her tone imbued with the weight of their achievement and the road ahead. "This is only the beginning," she said, her gaze fixed on the horizon. "But together, we have taken the first crucial steps. Let's keep looking forward, building not just for us, but for the generations that will follow." The crew nodded, their faces illuminated by the twin light of a setting sun and rising hope. As darkness settled, the stars twinkled above, a mirror of Earth's sky yet entirely alien. This celestial canopy was a fresh canvas, and they, the artists. Though the night was cold and the environment alien, the warmth of shared purpose and newfound camaraderie kept the chill at bay. Here in this moment was life anew, fragile yet fervent with potential.